What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? How you all doing? Cosmic Gary here, bringing you another World of Tanks video. Today we're going to be going through me obtaining the marks of excellence on the VK 30.01D. What an elegant name that is for a tank. And originally, when did I grow up with? I think this was I played in this tank going towards, I think it was the Leopard 1. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is part of the line that leads up to the Leopard 1, not the E50M. This is the Tier 6 tank leading to the Leopard 1. I'm pretty sure about that. And this kind of, the line here leading to the Leopard 1, the guns are really kind of decent. They're pretty accurate. The pen is good, and not that much armor. And this kind of continues in each and every tier, leading to kind of like the Leopard 1. I think the Indian Panzer has a little slightly better armor, I would say. Due to the shape of the turret more so than any of the other tanks, and that's kind of balanced by the fact that it's kind of very tall at the same time. I don't know. But anyhow, this is the VK 30.01D, and why did I grind the Marks of Excellence on this tank? It's kind of twofold, really. I did the ELC AMX, and I thought, okay, let's move on to a Tier 6, and at the same time, Wargaming were doing a competition, get best based XP in a either a tier 4, 5 or 6 tank. Of course there are many other tanks that are that'll piss all over this tank. Cromwell comes to mind, but I didn't want to do attempt to take on the competition in a tank that everybody else was most probably playing in, so to speak. Tier 5, I don't know, did I attempt, was it the Easy 8? I can't remember. And Tier 4, I gave it a few shots with the, what was it, the Matilda. But primarily I was trying in this tank, and the best base XP I think I got was about 1800, something along those lines. And I kind of showcased gameplay recently in that vid because reasons. Where I got, I think it was 1900, 2000 base XP with 7 kills, or almost got a Radley Walters. But unfortunately, the competition had finished already, so I was continuing playing in this tank in order to get the third marks of excellence. And yes, I have got the third mark of excellence in this tank, and it wasn't that difficult. It's Tier 6. It is what it is, absolutely. It's kind of cool getting the third marks, your third mark of excellence, and I'm sure it's a different beast altogether to get it, in a Tier 10 tank. That's something for someone, I would say, that has all the time in the world. I read on the forums people attempting to get their third mark of excellence on a Tier 10, and it's like I put in 2 hours per day solid for a month, and I don't know if I have the patience to all the time to do something along those lines, if you know what I mean. And because I'm sure it's with this tank you get a really decent game, and it will push up the percentage by by 1.5, etc. No such thing is going to happen when you're at Tier 10. The competition is fierce, and yeah, so I've obtained the first mark of excellence on my E50M. I've had it forever on my Death Star, on my E100. I just have no plans on working on the marks of excellence on any Tier 10s at the moment. I'm just having tons of fun playing these mid-tier battles, mid-tier games in these tanks. I really am. I genuinely am. And because they're tons of fun, that's simply put, that's why I'm doing this, because it's just fun to me, 100%. And there's a sense of accomplishment as well, 100%, because my stats have like really seriously kind of not improved, I would say. I'd say the first like half, I can't remember how many games I got played. It's around 14,000 games played, so far in World of Tanks, and I'm rated just below a great player. I'm about to break into great player. I think I'm like 50 points away from being rated a great player. First half of my like World of Tanks career was literally just running around like a headless chicken. And doing YouTube and stuff like that, and doing the grinds, for the vids and this and that and that and that, and playing in some pretty crappy tanks, I would say, and but not necessarily, doing what I wanted. And kind of last couple of months, I've been playing more so than ever in tanks that I want to play in, tanks that I genuinely 100% want to play in, and nothing else, nothing more. And that's why, I kind of mentioned in the last video, a lot of my grinds have come to a halt. But and because I'm playing in tanks that I enjoy, I do well in them, and my stats are kind of fantastic for the past month or two. They really are. They're kind of unicum stroke super unicum kind of stats. They really are. And so there's a sense of accomplishment there, a sense of, I guess, pride, even though I really don't, I really couldn't give a crap. But there is a sense of what I genuinely usually do with my tanks lately is to obtain my marks of excellence. I simply aim for unicum level damage. I go to you'll see the link in the description, target damage for each individual tank for each individual game, and there's different levels of target damage. There's potato levels of damage, good levels of damage, great levels of damage, and then there's unicum levels of damage, and I always aim for the unicum level of damage, to do well, to make an impact on my progression in the mark, in my quest for the third mark of excellence, etc., etc. Like for instance with this tank, the VK30.0D, for the for unicum level damage you need 1100, and which means basically 7 to 8 pens, full penetration. And so what I do is I aim above that. I look for around 10 to 12 damage ribbons, basically, in order, if I get around that, I know I've had a good game. I know I've made a decent impact on my progression towards the next mark of excellence, basically. But anyhow, VK30.0D. As you can see, I mean, I like this tank. When I was grinding it, I enjoyed it. I originally picked it up yonks ago, and I kind of put it to one side, and I kind of revisited the thing. And when I revisited this tank, I discovered that I absolutely loved it. But when I revisited this tank, I was a different player. It was like a year later, and I'd come to learn to appreciate speed and great guns, good accuracy. And that's why I kind of fell in love with the thing, as opposed to the first time around when I played in it. I was still kind of trying to find my feet in World of Tanks, I would say. But you can see what I have decked out on this tank as far as skills and perks are concerned, and you can see that, the type of equipment that I have, and it's because of the gun. The accuracy is really really decent, and the skills and perks are basically they're it's completely kind of built around the tank. It's completely built around the fact that the accuracy is pretty decent. 0.34, I think it was. The Germans, of course, they're kind of known. The German tanks are known for their accuracy, and it's all built around the fact, the equipment, the skills, the perks. You can see I have muffled shot. What is it? Silent driving, I guess. There's stuff on there to extend my view range, camo, and Sixth Sense, of course, and my equipment. You can see my equipment, camo, and binocs. It's all built around the fact that I can snipe in this tank. I'm able to snipe, but that's not necessarily primarily what I do in this tank. That isn't the only thing. Fact of the matter is that this is a very speedy tank, and it's very responsive as far as doing the ring of death around opponents, around enemy tanks, and all of that good stuff. And so I found that the best results gained in this tank are games where I have an element of sniping, followed by an element of just going for it, going ham, going crazy, and using my speed as my advantage, and just outwitting my opponents with crazy moves, etc., etc. Even though, in a couple of the games here, it kind of doesn't work out for me, my speed and all that jazz. But yeah, my best games in this tank have been when I've done some pretty decent damage, along with some pretty decent assisted damage, where I kind of assist my team to inflict damage on the Reds, and that's because I have camo and I have binocs, and I light up the Reds for my team, and I'm not greedy. I'm not attempting to get those shots on target. I'm allowing my teammates to get shots on targets for me. I'm softening up the Reds, and then I kind of roll in and pick them off, piff, 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 kind of thing. But anyhow, like I mentioned before, it's not the greatest tank, when it comes to tier 6 mediums, but I like it. It's very individual, and I was debating whether or not to enter the competition with the Cromwell, maybe the T-3485, and I don't know, I like the underdog, I guess. With the Cromwell, it doesn't have the best accuracy as well, and these tanks, like on the fly, when like it's exactly the same like with the Cromwell and this tank, like on the fly, when you're going ham and you're just driving full speed ahead and you're trying to do shots at high speed, it doesn't work out. You'll notice occasionally I'll take a shot and the tank is directly in front of me, and my shot will go 45 degrees, left or right, and that happens all the time, like in the Cromwell as well, and other quick little tanks, and that's because of lag, and that's because of the game mechanics, and that's because of the game. It just simply can't. I'm guessing this is why the game simply can't keep up with these fast kick-ass tanks, when they go ham, when they go nuts. And I find myself, even when I'm going really fast, really quick, and I know I can make the shot, I'll still kind of slow down. I'll take off the the cruise control, and kind of slow down a bit, just to make sure that my shell goes where it's supposed to go. Because a lot of times it's like your gun is pointed straight ahead, and your shell will just go pew to the left, pew to the right, and you're like, what happened to my shell? And it's a trait, kind of a flaw that is shared by a lot of tanks, a lot of quick, nimble tanks around these tiers. I've noticed that. So VK30.01, compared to other tanks, the DPM, damage per minute, is not bad. It's nothing spectacular. The pen is pretty decent. It's up there, 150, 135 damage, which is pretty decent, very good. Rate of fire is okay, 40 seconds. The reload time is around 4 seconds, so it's a quick reloading a gun. Shell velocity is really good. It's 925 meters per second, and it's basically the speed of the shell. I always like that, nice quick shell speed. Absolutely. Aim time at 2.21, which is definitely workable. Absolutely. It does have the dispersion, like on the move, like when you come to a halt and you've just been moving, it does take a while for that bloom, to kind of pull in, tighten up, and it does have that flaw, I would say. Engine power, speed is 56 kilometers per hour, which is really decent, and it's very responsive, turning and all of this jazz. Armor, of course, nothing fantastic to speak of. You will occasionally get bounces in this tank, here and there, but 100% you don't count on it. It's just you'll get lucky. You'll get lucky, I would say. Like with the Panthers at tier 7 and tier 8, and I would, even though the armor's nothing fantastic, I would angle my tank and I would get a bounce, and I would say that's because I angled my tank. With this tank, it's more, it's luck more so than anything else, and don't count on it 100%. View range is 370, so with binocs we're hitting that 445 easily. So let's get into some gameplay. All of the gameplay is going to be on Sacred Valley, and I'm going to be doing 2 vids on this tank of me obtaining my Mark of Excellence. Hopefully I won't bore you too much to death, but I thought it'd be interesting to do the first vid, all battles on Sacred Valley, kind of discussing tips and tactics on what I do, how I do it, etc. Because there's a lot of controversy with this map, a lot of hate towards this map, especially like on the forums. I don't get why, because I love the map 100%. I think it's a fantastic, great map. Okay, so hey ho, let's go Sacred Valley, and we are in the pardon me, we spawned in on the eastern side. A lot of people will claim that if you spawn in on the eastern side of Sacred Valley, you have the advantage because reasons, I don't know, and it's so-so. I haven't got a clue. The map has been changed on the PC version significantly, especially the passageway leading from the western spawn area, up to the area which I'm about to reach up here. And but for me personally, it always, it just depends on the teams, how well you're going to do. Absolutely 100%. So what am I doing here? I believe I've shown you guys this a million times before. I'm lighting up the reds. This is what I'm doing. I'm lighting up the reds 100%, and that's all that I'm doing. I'm allowing my team to get shots on target. And I see a Cromwell, so instantly he's kind of, he's up there on my list. Like, what are you doing? What are you up to? Because he's the equivalent of my tank but nah, more so, much better tank when it comes to brawling and all of that stuff, and in the right hands. Well, the thing when it comes to World of Tanks and you see an OP tank like that, the Cromwell, it's either the guy knows how to use the tank or he doesn't, So if he does, then he's definitely a threat. So when I saw him here, I said, "Oh, this guy's sneaky. He knows what he's doing." But I don't know. I don't think he did, kind of thing. So 2 versus 1, I decided to pull back because I want this heavy on my side as I crest this area, a second time. So I take a look who's with me. It's an Excelsior. Okay, Excelsior is not fantastic. Does not have fantastic alpha or anything like that, but it does have armor on its side. So, and demonstration of a very, very bad player is Mr. Chaffee here. I'm not sure if is he tracked. It doesn't look like he's tracked. He just sits there and just kind of takes it. And he lets himself down, and he lets the Cromwell down, most definitely. So it's all about who are you up against, in a World of Tanks. But if you see an OP tank, an infamous tank, I give them a wide berth. I assume that the play is fantastic. I see a KV-1, a KV-1S, and all of these tanks. I'm like, oh, okay, I respect you until I decide otherwise, until you just sit there and just, like an idiot, and no disrespect to the Chaffee guy or anything like that. But anyhow, you guys know what I'm trying to say. So TD up ahead, SU 85, any kind of TD with SU, you just you got to be scared of. It doesn't matter that he's tier 5 and I'm tier 6. No, they have my respect, big massive guns. But unfortunately, take a look at that, it's well done. Artie takes him out. I think that was Artie, yeah. And I signal thank you. It's weird that you can't signal thank you in this game. You should be able to. And the Panzer-Syphilis, tier 5, 200 pen. Okay, it's not 200. It's 198, I believe it is. But it's, peaches and pears, apples and oranges. It's 200 pen. He just touches me. He can hit me in any angle whatsoever. He's 100% definitely going to pen me. And it's just, right now, it was, in my mind, it was tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. Is he making his way towards me? Because if he hits me up, 538, very nice, thank you. And this is my binocs coming in. And yeah, he's on his way. So I'm thinking, if I'm assuming he's on his way. Stug, and some people say, well, he can't hit this guy, but he's bouncing around like crazy on all these dips and ravines and etc. etc. Do manage to get him eventually. At this point, I was thinking I can do this 100%. I can carry this game. With my sniping capabilities and this and that, I can, even though my team was very, very lacking. We exchange damage there, and yeah, he took quite a significant chunk out of me. What can I say? And it's like I said, I respect the Mr. Panzer-Syphilis player was a pretty decent player in my opinion. He knew when to kind of pull back and all that jazz, and that's kind of very important in World of Tanks. Of course I forgot to mention Artie. The whole time I was up here, there were originally 2 pieces of Artie in play, and I was reacting to that. You can see me kind of moving all over the place. When I was pulling back, I was wiggling, etc., etc. Now I'm deciding to relocate. I'm deciding to relocate. I want to relocate. I want the element of surprise to be on my side. Sit here for a minute and just kind of wait. Let my binocs kick in. Possibly, maybe I'll light up the Panzer-Syphilis. And there's another 2 tanks out there. I don't know where they are. The red over there on the other side is too far for me to do anything. And there's Mr. Panzer-Syphilis. I get fed up of auto locking, and I decide, okay, you need to Yeah, so you need to aim in properly. And it was at this point I kind of noticed something was up because I thought I'd switched to standard ammo. And like I said, look, Mr. Panzer Syphilis is a decent player, decent player. And 35 damage. I was saying to myself, what the heck is going on? What the heck is I have HE loaded? Well, when did I? And I just this kind of just totally mucked me up, and I said, okay, switch back to standard, and I made a fatal mistake there, 100%. I think I originally thought that was the auto-loading Japanese tank, and he was in his 10-second reload. I think it's 10-second. And I said, okay, quickly get in there and get him. And nah, it was not to be. I think that's the Cheeto, and the Cheeto has just a quick firing. I'm not sure. But kudos to him. Kudos to the Panzer Syphilis. I keep saying Panzer Syphilis. I got outplayed 100%. I didn't get outplayed. I just made a fatal mistake there 100%. What can I say? What can I almost flips over? But I just made a fatal mistake, and that's that. But I got my pens in. I got 4 kills. I got 12 pens in. I most definitely could have played that so much better. But honestly, truth be told, my mind did a 360 when I saw that 35 pen on the Cheeto. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? Why, what's going on? And I got distracted, and I made a fatal mistake, and it is what it is. And second game, Sacred Valley, but this time we're spawning in on the west side, and I kind of always do this, so to speak, and I don't know, it kind of, it's a little bit greedy, it's a little bit selfish, a little bit, I don't know what it is. It's it's not gonna work, buddy. But I discovered this spot kind of instantly when I was when I was grinding towards the 263, and I hit tier 9, and I achieved my mastery badge. I'm kind of watching myself on screen now. Like an elephant, kind of. And I think I called the video Mastery in the Bush. Mastery badge in the bush. I just sat in the bush, and I just plowed the reds with shots, and had a jolly good time. But it's like I said with this tank, it's kind of like the best games are kind of like a combination of inflicting some damage and getting kind of assisted damage. I don't actually get that much assisted damage in this game, but like I think in one game, like on Prokhorovka, which wasn't that much of a that great a game, but I got like 4-5k assisted damage, and people will talk about going for these mastery badges, and they say, oh, track people. Spotting people is just as important, because like with that game on Prokhorovka, where I got 4k, it was assisted damage, and I think it was just like 1k actual damage inflicted. My M.O.E went up by like 2% or something insane, crazy. So anyhow, we're here. We've got our binocs. We've got our camo. We're gonna make it work for us. No, you can see I'm kind of being a little bit stubborn, because I'm getting lit up from the guys just below me, and also it's kind of like when I'm firing my gun as well. So picking up my second kill, but granted those guys were on pretty low health. KV1, is that going to work? And it kind of is like when you spawn in the west, it's kind of your role is more defensive. The when you spawn on the west, on the east, on the other side, you have more of an attacking role. It's more aggressive. Whereas when you spawn on this side, just watching this guy, it's more of like a defensive role. You're fending off the reds more so, and then if it. You can see I'm getting a lot of kind of like cheap kills, so to speak. But it is what it is. But my accuracy is pretty decent, and I'm not stealing kills necessarily or anything like that. We've gained a significant advantage, and I think when you're the aggressor and you're kind of attacking, it needs to be kind of balanced. It needs to be tempered. I'm pretty proud of these shots on the Cromwell. It needs to be, yep, second. Yep, third. Yeah, fourth. Yeah, you need to find like a balance. That aggression should be kind of controlled aggression. It needs to be directed properly, and you don't just go nuts and go ham. But anyhow, you can see I'm comfortable with moving out. We're in the mopping up stage. Nice quick game. Got 10 pens, 3 kills. Although a lot of those pens were kind of pretty low, and it is what it is. Archer, tier 5. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Be very wary of these little birds. Are they called birds? They have very quick firing guns. Looking for that last piece of arty. 4 kills. Can we make it a 5th? And you're going to see in the last battle, about controlling your aggression kind of thing. There we go, picking up kill number 5. 15 pens. Very good. Good game. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. But you can see, look at my damage. It's nothing spectacular. 1,680 and but good to go. Good to go. And final game. We are back. We're spawning on the east side again on the Sacred Valley, as you can see. And this is kind of got to be a lesson in, I guess, controlling your aggression, I guess. And you'll see at the end, basically. And it's kind of like I've done this move like a million times, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and it's all about knowing when to make a particular move. It works out in your favor a lot of times, and a lot of times it just doesn't. So we're coming up to this plateau up here, and I'm going to be doing exactly the same as I did in the very first game, and of course only one piece of arty in play. And so we got to be wary of that. And again, I'm not interested in getting shots on target. This tank does have, I think it's 7 or 8 degrees of gun depression, and it really doesn't feel like it. Truth be told. Go on, I'm not lit up. Go on, yeah, you can do that. It really doesn't feel like it, and I think it's to do with the fact that the tank is actually very tall, and it feels like 5 or 6 degrees of gun depression, but it's way more than that. I can't remember. Is it 7 or 8? Something that's pretty decent, but because due to the fact that it's tall, it doesn't. I'm like, come on, lower that gun, and it doesn't want to. So right now I'm just being a pain. I'm lighting these guys up, and as soon as they're no longer lit up, I'm kind of positioning myself to relight them, for my team 100%, 88. 88s are the bane of. I hate 88s in this tank. You know, just cannot pen those things. And, you know, of course, you know, shoot them. Yeah, pen you easy. Very easy to pen. Yeah, you want to ignore me? Give ahead and ignore me. Don't even have premium loaded. He's angling. Okay, turret cheek. No. Accuracy, come on, where are you? Oh, there. Oh, he just turned the thing. Not sure what he's doing. Who cares? Who cares? Oh, now it's facing me. You can see I just moved a smidgen. That was on purpose. You don't see my traces, buddy. Just switch to premiums. Come on, we can get it in there. Wasting a lot of... Somehow get that lower plate. Wow, where did that shell go? Where did that... This guy is gonna... You can see I'm moving, you know. Because I don't want his shell to pen me. Whee! He went to the moon, his shell. It's like a Mexican standoff. Except he can't see me. But I can see him. He's, yeah, I kind of don't know what to say here. Yeah, okay. That took a while. Wow, that took a while. That took a long time. Now back to the game. Anyhow. So this is kind of like... I've done this, like I said, a million times before. You know, I really have. And it's all about, like I said in the last game, controlled aggression, etc. And combined with, is it the mopping up stage, you know? And at the same time, when the kind of like the mopping up stage kind of kicks in, it's like everybody senses it and everybody goes for it. And there's only like a few damage ribbons up for grabs, truth be told. So I always try to anticipate well ahead of time when the mopping up stage is going to kick in, and I try and get in there a little bit early. And this is what happens to me here. You know, I kind of say we got this in the bag, and you know, we do win the game. I think we do win the game. But then lo and behold, what do I see? Churchill 7, quick firing gun on full health. Holy shit on a stick, you know. Then I look over here, KV1S on full health. Are you kidding me? And this is not the mopping up stage. This is not good. This is not okay. I'll take this guy out, but yeah, you know, I'm like, okay, you're done, you're dusted, you're finished, you're adios, muchachos. And it was the mopping up stage, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, so sometimes it kind of, you choose that moment perfectly and you go in, you go ham, you go into beast mode, and you mop up more so than anybody else. And sometimes, you know, this happens. You know, there's a game on Himmelsdorf where I was in my bat chat and I just went ham because I chose the precise moment, the perfect moment to go for it. Basically, I put it up, and but what nobody kind of noticed was the video started like 5 minutes into the battle because I was just waiting for that moment. I think I got like a Top Gun. I just proceeded to machine gun drive by everybody in the game, kind of thing. And a lot of times, you know, World of Tanks is all about choosing that perfect moment when to strike that, you know, controlled balance, controlled aggression. You know, it has to have purpose. It has to strike at the right moment, at the right time, and all of that jazz. And yeah, so anyhow, it's a pretty decent game. You know, got 17 damage ribbons, and yeah, not bad. All from that KV. And yeah, you can see this is what I'm talking about. 2K assisted. Good to go. Good to go. Take it easy, guys. Adios, muchachos. Hope you enjoyed this kind of whatever you want to call it ramble.